Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great today. Well, I've been noticing recently that there's been a lot of other YouTubers, mainly newer YouTubers, that have made videos talking about how they're not making as much money as they may have been making before. And I notice how some of these YouTubers, especially your newer YouTubers, they had, some of them have been expressing, okay, well, what do I need to do better? What can I do to increase my views? What can I do to increase my money? Well, for those of us that are content creators, we all notice that there has been a noticeable cut in our money that we make on YouTube. Now, not everybody may be facing this type of a situation, but many of us content creators, even content creators with larger channels that are very good at what they do, they even notice a pay cut in what they make off of YouTube. So during times like these, what do? Well, for starters, I look at YouTube like this. I mean, there was a time where my goal was to be a full-time YouTuber, but after a couple of times trying to do full-time YouTubing, I know for me, full-time YouTubing is not going to be it. I mean, I don't have low self-esteem or anything like that. I'm just realistic. And realistically, like I said before, I don't feel that I have the personality, so to speak, to be a full-time YouTuber. I mean, at this point, my YouTube channel is gonna just simply reflect who I am as a person. It's gonna reflect my principles. It's gonna reflect my beliefs. Now, if that one day takes this channel to that next level, to where I can make way more money off of it, wonderful, great. Obviously, that's welcomed. But one thing I've learned about YouTube is, and I've been doing YouTube since 2020, and one thing I've learned about YouTube is, for starters, you can't copy off of other content creators' style. Because one thing I've learned is other content creators, they talk about what they talk about, and they have their style on how they deliver their content. And their style is unique to them. Like for an example, I can't start to copy off of Southern Life, for an example. Now, for those of you that don't know Southern Life, I mean, many of you do, but for those of you that don't, Southern Life, they're a traveling blog channel, and they're out of Florida. So go check them out. I mean, I don't agree with everything that he says, but for the most part, I do believe that they got wonderful content over there. So go check them out. Show them some love. But anyways, like for an example, I can't copy the style of Southern Life because I'm not him. I mean, so one thing I've learned about YouTube is I gotta stay in. One thing I've learned about YouTube is to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Whenever you show up on this platform, be your authentic self and discuss topics that you know something about. I mean, because if you try to discuss something that you know nothing about, that you're not even passionate about, even if you do extensive research, people that are watching you are going to be able to tell that, okay, either A, you don't know what you're talking about, or B, the interest in that topic is not authentic, it's not there. So that's another thing I've learned about YouTube. Be yourself, and whatever you talk about, be authentic. Like for me, whenever I do a traveling blog, I don't do very big cities because I'm not, like I told you guys many times before, I am not a big city person. So for me to do big cities, there's no point. Now, I've done a few what I would consider to be larger cities, and sometimes I might get good views, but a lot of times I don't. Now, whenever I do a traveling blog, I am more of a smaller town / smaller city kind of guy. Those are the type of communities I enjoy traveling through, so those are the type of communities that I blog on whenever I do a traveling blog. And as far as the topics, as far as what to talk about, now, sometimes when people first start a YouTube channel, people might only discuss topics that are hot, topics that many other content creators are discussing, that mainstream media sources may also be discussing as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is. However, I know for me, for one, I don't want to just discuss topics that are hot, because a lot of the topics that might be hot things to talk about may not be topics that I want to talk about. They may not be topics that I care to discuss. And if I attempt to discuss those type of topics, people are gonna notice that me discussing that topic is not me being authentic. Hopefully I'm making sense. There's a certain topics I don't discuss that are hot topics to discuss, because honestly, I could care less. It's not the type of thing I really want to discuss. So whenever I do a sit down type of video, kind of like what I'm doing right now, I pick topics that I'm interested in. Now, there's days where, to be quite frank, I don't really have much to talk about. And there's other days to where by the time I get off of work, by the time I get done doing stuff around the house, and by the time I get done doing all my other stuff, I don't have time to sit down and make a video. I simply don't got time. So that's why I don't post every day. Now, I also heard people say, well, it would help the algorithm if you post on a daily basis. And I think for some content creators that could be true, but I also noticed that there's some content creators that they might post a video once a week and they still get more views and more interaction on their channel than many people who post every day get on their channel. So I don't think it's necessarily posting every day. Now, obviously, if you post every day, that could, and in most cases, it will help. But honestly, I think as far as your success on YouTube, there's a lot of variables. I think YouTube is a lot like other aspects of life. Now me, I'm 46 years old. I'm a Gen X. And I grew up on hip hop, and I kind of look at YouTube the same way I look at the hip hop industry. Now, for those of you that know anything about the hip hop industry, like back in the day, back when they used to play hip hop songs on radio, like I grew up in Northeast Ohio, so I remember, on Saturday, we used to have a station called WZAK. It was station 93, if I can remember. And they used, from 8 o'clock to midnight, they used to play nothing but hip hop. And you can call in and you can request a song, and then they play it. And a lot of times I used, whenever my favorite song come on, I would record it. And I noticed as time went by, the hip-hop songs that they played, in my opinion, the type of hip-hop that they were playing wasn't as good. Like towards the end, when WZAK went off air, which I think that was back in 99, I noticed as time went by that the type of hip-hop they were playing wasn't as good as it was before. Now, in my opinion, the best era of hip-hop was in the mid-90s. And also, I think the early 2000s, their hip hop was pretty decent. Now, there's still good hip hop today, but you're not going to hear none of it on radio. You're not going to see none of it on TV. Like today, when it comes to hip hop, in my humble opinion, if you want to listen to authentic hip hop, you have to go online and go on YouTube, and you'll, whatever artist you want to listen to, type that stuff in, it will come up, and other hip hop music that you may enjoy will come up as well. Now, anyways, I look at YouTube kind of like that. To me, there's a lot of good YouTubers out here, very knowledgeable what they talk about. They're very truthful, they're very authentic, they're like an open book. You can learn a lot from some of these people. Now, a few of those people, yes, they do got bigger channels, and they're making good money, they're doing good on YouTube, and and I'm happy for those people. But you also got a lot of other people that are real good at what they do online, but in my humble opinion, their channel is not as big as what it should be, and they're not gaining as much publicity as they should gain. But on the other hand, I also notice a lot of content creators out here that, in my humble opinion, their channel might have over a million subscribers, and the views are in the millions. Their interactions with their viewers are very good, but in my humble opinion, some of these channels are garbage. They don't really be talking about nothing. Everything they do is fake, and you can almost tell it's fake. It seems like every 3 minutes they have a commercial or two, and on top of that, they might spend like a good 5 minutes talking about their sponsorship. And to me, some of those type of content creators are just trash, and I simply do not watch them. I try to avoid watching those type of content creators like the plague. So I say all this to say that YouTube is not fair. YouTube is not fair. Now, some people may say, well, YouTube is racist. They're being biased towards a content creator due to their race. Now, me personally, I don't quite believe that, because I've seen content creators of all ethnicities that, in my opinion, have not gotten a fair shake. And I also see YouTube content creators of all ethnicities that I felt were garbage, and their channel has got way too much publicity. So I would say, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to content creation on YouTube, like I said, show up on a regular basis. Now, you don't necessarily have to show up every day, although if you do, it definitely will help. But I would say, if you show up at least regularly, like even if all you can do is once a week, do once a week. If you can do 2 or 3 times a week like I do, then do that. So I would say, when it comes to YouTube, for one, show up on some type of a regular schedule. Rather be once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. If you can't do it every day, that would be great as well. And also, when you show up, be authentic. Don't be showing up, putting out a bunch of fake shit. Because if you do, at some point, people are going to know that you're fake, and your view count will drop as a result. And for those of you that don't know about YouTube, your pay is not based on how many subscribers you have. Your pay is based on how many views that you get. So the key is, you don't want your view count to drop, because there's people out here that might have, let's say, 10,000 subscribers that are making more money than people that got 60,000 subscribers, because a person with 10,000 subscribers has more views. Now, I would say, generally speaking, in many cases, the view, the amount of subscribers you have and the views, they kind of go together, but not always. So one thing I've learned when it comes to being a YouTuber is, show up on a regular basis. When you show up, be authentic. Don't be gimmicky. Like if you make a video talking about, let's say, homelessness, make sure that you're actually talking about homelessness. I mean, don't make a video entitled it homelessness and then you talking about something that doesn't even relate to homelessness. So that's another thing, you know. Whatever you choose to title your video, make sure that you're talking about that topic. And like I said, show up, be authentic, be real, you know. That's just how I look at YouTube. And also for me, and I would say for most people that want to do YouTube, I mean, I guess if your goal is to be a full-time YouTuber, okay, nothing wrong with that goal. But I will say, don't plan on it. Like, what I mean is, don't make YouTube your only source of income. I mean, I would say at best, treat YouTube like you would treat your job when it comes to the money. I mean, don't spend all your money on equipment just to be a full-time YouTuber. I mean, make sure that you allocate your resources to where, okay, you got X amount of resources for your YouTube, you got X amount of resources for other investments outside of YouTube, because if for whatever reason you don't become that big-time YouTuber like you anticipated, and, you know, or two, something crazy happens and YouTube decides to pull your channel for some crazy reason, it does happen, unfortunately. You want to have other streams of income that you can live off of. That way, even when you're not streaming, you're still making enough money to take care of business. So that's just my take when it comes to being a YouTube content creator. Don't put all, I mean, like anything else, man, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's not a good thing, take my word. And another thing is, when it comes to choosing what type of content that you want to create. Now, me personally, I try to stay away from doing content solely because of YouTube. Like my traveling blog videos I do. I like to travel. I've always been a traveler. Even before YouTube was a thing, I traveled. So now that YouTube is a thing and I can make a little bit of money off of it, I'm gonna do content that, you know, the content that I do for YouTube are things that I genuinely enjoy doing in real life. Like when I talk about a specific topic, those are topics that I know a thing or two about. When I do a video about whatever, those are situations that I'm either going through at the present or I've been through before. So another thing is, don't create a YouTube channel and do stuff solely for YouTube, knowing good and well that the second that camera goes off, you wouldn't be doing any of that shit. So that's my opinion, man. Whatever you do on YouTube, make sure it reflects who you are in real life. Alright folks, that's all I got for this one. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And feel free to drop comments below. Stay blessed. I'll catch you all later.